It's your girl Ashley Ja-Nell, aka the Legacy Queen, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if not, thank you so much for coming back and showing all your love and support. Now today I was like, you know what, let me do a video about love. I mean, it is February. I know it's Black History Month, but it's also Love Month as well. So I wanted to do a little video, touch bases on that. So here is my insights, and I hope you enjoy the video. The first question is, what is my definition of love? When I think about the word love, I think about caring about somebody's well-being 1000%. Whether it's spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, you value and you put interest in all of those areas with their best interest at heart. You know, you just take care of it, you protect it. And I feel like if you have love for something or someone, all of those boundaries of protection will be there. Which songs come to mind when you think of the word love? Okay, so if I'm in like that puppy love phase, I would have to say Butterflies by Queen Naija. Now, if we are further into the dating phase where I feel like we're about to be exclusive and he's about to ask me to be, you know, his woman or whatnot, I would have to say Beautiful Surprise by India.Arie. If you have not heard that song, like, what are you doing? Like, if you have not heard India.Arie, period, like, who are you? But yeah, definitely that song. Now, if I'm in love, and that's my man, when you see him, you see me type vibe, then I would have to say The Truth by India.Arie. India.Arie has the most beautiful songs ever when it comes to like that romantic feel. What is the most romantic trip you dream of going on? I would say my top romantic trip that I would love to go on is definitely to Santorini, Greece. That place is gorgeous. Every time I see that on my feed, I die inside. I cannot wait to go there, and just how they have the pictures all, you know, glamorized up with the, you know, the rose petal and the little personalized pool in the hotel room, and then the candles lit and breakfast in the water and all that extra stuff that they do. Yeah, they got me and they sold me, and I cannot wait to do that. So future hubby, future bae, future man, wherever you at, if you see this and you know you want to, you know, go ahead and put that on the list, because trust me, you'll get me at that point. Perfect romantic gift. I would say a romantic gift to me would be a gift that you paid attention to. Like, you had to be paying attention to me or listening to whatever I'm talking about, and you went out and got it. And when I get it, I'm like, how did you know this? Or I can't believe you remembered this. Those are the type of gifts that I like, big or small. Those to me are definitely romantic, because when a man pay attention to you and he listen, even when you don't think he listening, and then he gets you a gift that you mentioned in those type of conversations, like, yeah, those, you get 100 points for those. Do you think you would ever want to settle down and have kids? For sure. Like, I'm definitely open to that. So if my husband want me to pop out kids, I'll pop out kids. But I do have to say, now that I am older and I haven't had kids yet, I'm kind of good without them too. So if my husband doesn't want to have kids, I'm cool with that. I mean, it just depends on whatever God wants. You know what I'm saying? If he wants me with kids, I'm cool. If he doesn't want me with kids, I'm cool. So it's either way. When did I first fall in love? I think I may have answered this in my last video. But it'll have to be, I think the year was, I think 2009, and that person was like literally all over my MySpace. So if you remember me during them times, that you remember my MySpace, you know who I'm talking about. I'm definitely not gonna say or drop any names, because they're like married and have a family with kids, and that's highly disrespectful. But I would have to say 2009, that year is when I I mean, I guess I felt like I fell in love, so I'll say that. Is there such a thing as being too much in love? Hell yeah. Like, you definitely don't want to be too much in love. You don't want to lose yourself in a relationship. You always want to make sure that you take time for yourself and grow yourself and have your outside lifestyle, respectfully, of course, while you're in a relationship. And I feel like some people get so blinded in love in a relationship that they lose themselves. They let their relationships identify them, and they don't know what to do without it. And that's like very sad, like very, very sad. They don't know how to operate in life without that relationship, especially if something happens and it ends for whatever reason. You know, you don't want to be stuck. So I definitely do feel like you can be too much in love for that. And then also I feel like you can become possessive, you know, overly possessive, especially when you're, you know, too much in love. And that's how a lot of domestic situations and cases come about, because a lot of people are like, if I'm not with you, I don't want nobody else with you. And they become, you know, mentally just not there. And I feel like that's because they become too much in love, and possessive comes from that. And yeah, so definitely watch out for that, guys. Most romantic movie you ever seen? I would have to say 10 Things I Hate About You movie. And if it's like that toxic romance, you know, that toxic love, I would have to say Love Jones, because that's one of my favorite movies. And if you've seen it, you'll know why I say toxic romance, because it's really not that ideal romance that you would want, but it happens. Like, things they went through in the movie, it happens, you know what I'm saying? Because no relationship is perfect, but I would still say that it's a good love romantic movie. What's the best thing about being in a relationship? If it's a healthy relationship, it should be a healthy relationship. I would say just having just your best friend and being able to share all of your moments in your life's chapters with them while they're there is just such a blessing and so fun. I feel like just having that support and knowing that support is there, things in common, mutual interests, mutual values, I feel like that's a plus. If y'all do have the same interests and value in some areas, you can build businesses together, you know what I'm saying? Build a family empire to where you leave investments for your kids and your future kids and leaving legacies and stuff like that. So that's like some benefits and bomb things that I feel like is cool to experience while you're in a relationship, a healthy relationship. Like, make sure I say that again. If a healthy relationship is happening, all of this is what I feel would be beneficial. What are some important things you feel that people need to know before getting in a relationship? Before getting a relationship, I definitely think you should know who you are, like, know your purpose, because I feel like if you go into a relationship and you have no clue who you are, who are you giving to the other person? Like, how can you guys build or get to know each other when you don't know yourself? I also feel like you need to know that it takes trust, honesty, communication for sure. Like, I know you hear people say all the time, communication is key. It is. It's definitely key. Your girl has fell short in that area a couple of times, but you know, I'm doing a whole lot better. But we're not talking about me right now. But yeah, communication is definitely key. And then always know your partner's love language. You know what I'm saying? Study them, get to know them for real. That way that you can communicate in their love language and not how you feel like you would, you know what I'm saying, want somebody to tell you. Also, and it's an investment, like, for sure. Like, you have to have the time, you know, quality time for that person. You don't want to be busy and ignore them. Oh, what am I doing? Most importantly, before you get in a relationship, make sure you have a relationship with God, and make sure they have a relationship with God, because you do want to be guided in the right direction. I cannot believe I didn't say that was number one. I'm slipping. But yeah, always make sure that you pray about it, ask God for guidance, and then pursue. Also, know your worth, know your values, so you won't be out here getting misused and abused. Set your standards, set your boundaries, all that before you even invest in trying to pursue somebody else or letting somebody pursue you, because you have to make sure that you're protected at all times. If you can give advice about relationships, what would that advice be? Definitely properly heal. I'm not saying just sweep it under the rug and then pretend like everything is okay. No, properly heal before you get pursued and let somebody in, or before you pursue somebody else, because it's just so many good relationships go bad because of people not properly healing. Take the time for yourself. There is no rush. There is no timeline. You know what I'm saying? Whatever God wants to happen will happen when he wants it to happen, and not when the world or social media or whoever want it to happen. So take your time that you need to heal, and make sure whoever you're pursuing taking their time that they need to heal. And that's where that communication comes in at, because you need to know where they're at and where their headspace is. So my advice is to everybody: make sure you properly heal before moving forward with anything or letting anyone in your boundaries or circles. Things that I do when I know that I need to heal for whatever reason, in whatever area: I meditate. I know I talk to God and pray, and have our alone time. I know I write in my journal. Sometimes I drive down to the beach and I like to sit on the beach and listen to the waves and just relax and release, whatever it is that I need to release that helps me and put me in my zen. I know I do my sage, and I have a few crystals that I have been researching and getting into to balance me out. So I do have some of those. I listen to music. There's a lot of things depending on what areas you need to have healing. Go to therapy, actually talking to somebody that has no clue what's going on and getting a fresh input. So therapy is definitely a plus. And other than that, just find what gives you peace, and know that there is a bright side, and know that if it's meant for you, you will have it. So take the time that you need for yourself and make sure that you utilize it to the best ability, because you don't want God to give you something and you lose it because you didn't properly prepare yourself to have it. Sometimes he'll do that to teach you a lesson. He'll give it to you prematurely because he like, oh, you wanted this bad, but I told you needed to do this. But he'll give it to you and then you'll mishandle it, and then you will think, oh, I wasn't supposed to have it. No, you were. You just didn't do what you needed to do to prepare for it. So that's one thing that I had to learn for myself, because we were quick to push it off as, it wasn't meant to be, or God didn't want me to have it, and we lack accountability. But I'm like, no, sis. Sometimes I'd be like, no, he did want me to have that, but because I didn't properly do what he told me to do and obey, he gave it to me and to teach me a lesson, to be like, see, next time when I tell you to prepare for it, because now look what you done lost. You know what I'm saying? So those are the things that you pay attention to during your healing process. So that's why I always say to properly heal before you get into any relationship or any connection, whether it's business, friendships, whatever, so that you can get the best out of it that God wants you to get out of it. Okay guys, that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to answer any of the questions that I asked, go ahead and feel free and leave them comments below. I would love to read them, to see where your mind is at in perspective, and I might learn something from you too. So go ahead and do that. Make sure you also like and share, and also subscribe. And your girl is out, and I see you when I see you. Peace.
I always felt like I was built different, so I'm similar to James Lil Brown. And lately I've been on a different type of time.